Hello everyone, thank you again for joining me for another mat work class. Today we are not using any equipment and it's going to be a pretty core abdominal based class, but of course like any Pilates class we're going to get a little bit of everything. Just really quickly, with any of the planking positions, if going flat on the hands doesn't work for you, you can either make a fist, okay? If you have rings on, that can be kind of uncomfortable, so you might want to pop them off. And pretty much everything else can be done on the elbows as well if you find that positioning doesn't, on the flat on the hands doesn't work for the wrists. All right, if you're ready, I'm ready, so we're going to get started. We're going to start kneeling today. So you're going to be kneeling with your knees right underneath your hips. I was going to say it's Monday, but it's Tuesday. Okay, so that's the positioning for the knees. Okay, the feet should not be together. They should also be hip width apart. Okay, and you should be up nice and tall. Arms are relaxed at your side to start. You're going to take a deep breath in and reach your arms up without shifting your weight forward. So think of reaching the arms up without moving the weight forward or back. Then you're going to exhale, lower the arms to the side, and just let your chin sink to your chest. And just roll forward just a little bit, just through like the neck and the upper back. Inhale, reach the arms up, the head will come back up. Exhale, arms lower, chin lowers. Keep going here. So you're going to inhale, lift the arms up, the head will lift. And then exhale, arms lower, chin will lower. Last time. Reach it up. Okay. Then I want you to start to really engage your glutes, really engage your abdominals. Your weight will shift back just a little bit, but try to avoid too much shift. And I want you to start reaching towards the floor. So I want you to tuck your pelvis under into your imprint, and I want you to really see if you can get a good stretch through the spine without sitting right back. Okay, it takes a little bit of work to stay upright like this. So glutes and legs are working, reaching towards the floor. Once you get as far down as you think you can get, take a deep breath. Exhale, restack your spine up, reaching the arms forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower the arms and chin, and same thing, slight sit back, but more glutes, hamstrings, and quads should be working than anything else, reaching towards the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, restack the spine up, reaching the arms forward, and then the inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, lower the arms, roll forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll up. Inhale, reach, last time. Exhale, lower, and again, glutes strong, abs strong as you roll forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, come all the way back up, reach the arms forward, and stay in this position. On an exhale, I want you to imagine doing like a mini squat. So you're going to reach back, so you're not sitting on your heels, you're just working through the squat. You should feel the quads. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Okay, so as you're going up, don't let the ribs pop forward. I don't want the back arching when the arms reach. So if you think of slide your shoulder blades down as your arms reach up. Okay, 2 more. Nice, and then bring the hands down to the floor and bring yourself into a tabletop position. So your wrists are under the armpits, the knees are under the knees are under the hips. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, extend. So lift the chin and chest forward. Okay, so you're rounding, and then the tailbone's lifting slightly, the chest is lifting, the chin's lifting. You're going into extension. Nice. It's just that moving of the spine, right? Flexing it and extending it. Last 2. Last 1. And then bring your back where you feel like it's flat, okay? Now, this is the tricky part. You want to make sure those hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. I want you to tighten in your abdominals, almost like if you had a corset wrapped around your stomach and someone's really tightening it in. And then without shifting your weight onto your right leg. So think of weight stays centered. I want you to reach your left leg and your right arm out until they're straight, but they're still touching the floor. Okay, like that. And then bring it in. So now try it again without shifting any weight to the side. So exhale. Inhale. Okay, so sometimes if you squeeze that butt cheek, it will help. This exercise is obviously a good way to work on the stability of your hip. So your glute means the side of the hip. Try the other side. So same thing, try not to shift the weight into the leg. So it's basically when you move the arm and leg, you're trying not to change your position. You're trying to engage all your abdominals to stabilize you as you move the arm and leg. Back stays straight. Last one. Switching back to the other side. So you're going to reach the arm and leg out and hold it out. Okay, so it's out. Okay, without shifting the weight. Same thing now, but this time you're going to reach and stretch the arm and leg and lift it off the floor without bending through your back. So reach, reach, abs should work. Bring it down, tap the foot and hand. Reach again. Think of stretching your leg and arm long when you lift it. You're not just lifting it, you're stretching them. Reaching, 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 reaching. Squeezing that back glute. So glute muscle is helping your leg lift. So try to squeeze it. Last one. When these are done properly, they're a lot more challenging. And then bring it in. Other side. So reach the arm and leg out. Okay, so abdominals are working. Your weight is on your left leg. Okay, but you're not shifting. And you're lifting up and stretching, stretching, stretching. And tap. Then stretch those arms and legs longer. Stretch. Only go as high as you can without sinking in your back. Right? There's no physical reason your back needs to arch when you reach your arm and leg out. It's just sometimes if you're restricted in your hip and your shoulder, you will naturally arch your back to get your arm and leg higher. Bring the arm and leg in, around the spine, sitting onto the heels to stretch it out. Fabulous. And then we're going to pop onto our back. So the legs are going to stay down for this, bend hip distance apart. You're in a neutral pelvis, hands behind your head, starting with your chest lifts. So exhale, curl up and down. So when you're lifting, movement always comes from the torso. So it's the ribs moving and your eye line's kind of sending itself towards your thighs. You should never be looking up to the ceiling or behind you. Hold your next one up. Exhale, rotate to one side so the weight presses onto the shoulder blade. Check to make sure that the legs aren't moving. Come back to the middle. Then the other side. Ideally, the hips, pelvis, and legs all stay still. It's a small movement. I like the visualization of the pressing into the opposite shoulder blade. It just kind of gives you something to kind of guide you. Last one. Perfect, and then release it all the way down, arms at your side, bring your feet and knees together. So you're going to stay neutral, and we're going to do our shoulder bridge with our legs together. So without wobbling or shifting, lift up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs, and down. If this is uncomfortable on your lower back or your SI joint or your hips, bring your legs back to hip width apart. So you're just trying to actively keep those legs squeezing together. Both glutes squeezing at the top. So we're not rolling up, we're just lifting and lowering. Okay, now bring your hips back down. Keep your heels together, separate your toes so your knees will open. And then I want you to line your heels back up. So basically just bring your legs back to hip distance apart. Take your arms, bend your elbows and reach them behind. So they're like a W or like a goalpost. Find a fairly comfortable position. If you're really tight, you can release the arms a little bit more. But try to keep the elbows bent 90 degrees if you can. And now we're going to go into pelvic curl. So you're going to tilt through the pelvis, but think abs do all the work. Right? So the pelvis tilts and rocks towards you. And then you're going to press that lower back into the mat. So you've got that full pelvic tilt. And then you're going to roll up. So the glutes are working, the hamstrings are working, but the abs are leading the exercise. Take an inhale. Exhale, reverse it. So stretch it all the way through, back to neutral. So again, tilt the pelvis, engage the abdominals. That's what's leading the exercise. So don't just go clenching your butt cheek on this one. I want you to focus on the abdominals, really scooping in. The arms in this position just gives you a really nice stretch. Especially if you're hunched over a desk or computer all day. I've been doing a lot more computer work than usual the last few months, and I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you do it. But now I know how much even more important it is for you to move that upper back. Once you've released yourself all the way down, arms are going to go in a T, palms facing the floor. Legs are going to come up in a tabletop. Ideally you're neutral, okay, but if you need to go in a pelvic tilt, that's fine. And then inhale, lowering both legs towards one side, keeping the thighs the same length. So the kneecap should be lined up, opposite shoulders down on the mat, and then you roll back up. So you're lowering, feeling the stretch, making sure that opposite arm and shoulder stay anchored down. Remember, with this spine twist, it can be done with the feet on the floor. It's like a kinder, gentler version of the spine twist. You get that great stretch. You're still working through the obliques without all the strain. I like this version. It's nice. Let's do one more on each side. Fantastic. When you're done your last one, just hug your knees in and exhale to roll yourself all the way up. And then we're going to work through legs as straight as you can get them by sitting up straight. So if you're tight through the hips and hamstrings, bend the knees a little bit and sit right on top of the sit bones. Arms are going to come in front, palms facing in. On an exhale, you're going to tuck and roll into a half roll back. Then on the inhale, you're going to uncurl the tailbone, lengthen up the spine, and reach the arms up. Exhale, roll. Inhale, lengthen up. Okay, so you're just trying to bring yourself back up into that straight spine. So you're reaching up. It's hard to gauge, but you don't want to overextend your back. So as your arms start to reach up, you shouldn't feel like you're popping your chest forward. It should be ab work to reach your arms up. So as they get higher, you should have to tighten through the abdominals to keep your spine straight. Now we're going to roll back. As we roll back, open the arms up. Inhale, up. Exhale, tuck and roll. Inhale, up. Tuck and roll. Inhale, up. And up. One more each side. And then I want you to bring the arms in front. Roll all the way back down to the mat. Fabulous. And then we're going to work through just a quick roll-up series, but just a little bit different than usual. One leg is straight, opposite knee is bent. So knees bent over the hip in a tabletop, okay? Ideally, the space between the two hip bones and the bottom of your ribs is the same, so I don't want your bent leg, hip hiked up. So think of kind of dropping that bent knee, hip away from your ribs. All right, so take an inhale here. Exhale, you lift your head and shoulders. And I just want you to extend the legs straight. Inhale, bend it in. Okay, so it's not a full roll up. Try to keep your straight leg from turning out, so that both thighs are actually active. Squeeze the thigh. Two more. One more. Switching legs. Okay, so if you're tight in the hips or you're a little weak in the quads or the hip flexors, you should feel this one. The curl up is abdominals. It's just like a chest lift. Really squeeze through the top of the thigh so you use the quads. Two more. Let's do an extra one. One more for good luck. Fabulous. And then bring both knees bent, hip width apart, arms at your side. All right. Palms are facing the floor. Think of widening through the front of your chest and collarbone. And then you're going to exhale, or excuse me, lift your hips up into your shoulder bridge. Think of still wide chest. Inhale, extend your right leg to the ceiling. Leg go straight. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. The hips should be level. Okay, and the leg as you lift it up should stay lined up with your hip bone. So your foot, your knee, your hip, and your shoulder are all in one long tracked line. Inhale up, exhale down. One more on the other side. And then for this, we're going to roll it down just to kind of stretch through the spine. All right, back up into your shoulder bridge. I want you to take your right knee over your hip. Perfect. Then I want you to exhale, tap and up. Tap and up. Keeping your opposite glute nice and strong. Abdominals working, hips are lifted the same position. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot down. You got to switch sides. So before you go to switch, make sure you're solid. No shifting as you switch to the other leg. Tap it down and up. Two more. Last one. Bring the foot down, and then I want you to roll that spine all the way back down. Perfect. And then bring yourself up into a sitting position. All right, we're going to flip over into our stomach and go into a little bit of thoracic and back bending. So legs are going to be just shoulder width or hip width apart. Arms are going to be wide, probably a little bit wider than your mat. Hands beside your head, and then the hands and the elbows are going to stay in contact with the floor. So I want you to gently press into the elbows and the hands and draw your shoulder blades down and together. Now relax your glutes, but pull up your abdominals if you can. It's hard to think about both at the same time, and then you're going to inhale, pressing through the forearms to lift the chest up without collapsing in your shoulders. Exhale down. So it's not a large movement. Butts relaxed. Inhale. Exhale. Feels uncomfortable, try like a little bit of moving around of the arms, but they again should be in contact from your elbow to your hand. And up. Butts relaxed. 2 more. This should feel like a little bit of work and a little bit of a stretch. 2 more. 1 more, I should say. And then reach your arms in a T with your thumbs facing the ceiling. So your head is going to stay just kind of hovered. So head, neck, and spine are one long line. So your back is working a little bit. And then I want you to exhale, lift the arms up and lower. And again, your glutes shouldn't be firing too much. So you should feel your back working. Mine's working. Last 2. Now place your fingertips on the mat. And then use your fingertips just to gently press yourself up a little higher. Okay, now hold that position. So this time really make sure your abdominals are pulled in. Hold that position and bring your thumbs back up to the ceiling again. Press it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Fantastic. Press yourself up. Rounding the spine to flexion and sitting to the heels. Fabulous. And then we're going to go right into some side bending. So you're going to be bottom foot, is tucked around your top foot. Bottom arm is out on an angle. And I want your knees to be open, and you're going to basically try to square yourself forward. We'll start with the prep. So I'll do 2 preps, and then I'll give you the more advanced version if you want to go through it. So you're going to exhale, lift up, the bottom knee stays down, bend and press your hips forward. If you're tight through the hips, this always feels kind of good, but kind of not good, but it's good for you. Now you can stick with this one, or you can do the full one. Your feet do need to move a little further away from the center of your body. And then you lift up, and you should be able to extend both legs straight. Hips should be stacked. Reach over. You might have to look at the hips. Just be aware you might lose your balance when you do that. And then control down. Okay, so it's exhale up, squeeze the legs together, and down. You're just trying to do basically like a side plank position. 2 more, but it's a lot more involved. 1 more. Now, if you're doing the full side plank, come up to your side, then turn into a full regular plank. And if you're doing a half, pop up and meet us up here. So hands under the shoulders, okay? Legs are hip width apart. Find your comfortable plank position. Exhale, bend one knee to tap it towards the floor and up. So the hip should move. So you're bending at your hip, or sorry, I should say your pelvis doesn't move, doesn't drop, but you're bending at your hip and your knee. It's almost like you're marching, but holding your plank position. Keep the abs strong. Remember, you can do it with your elbows bent if you want. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your plank, press your heels towards the floor, and then bring the knees down. And give your poor wrists a rest. All right, shake it out. Roll the wrists if you need to. And again, even the side bend can be done with your elbows bent, okay? All right, going into our side bend position. Bottom foot is tucked behind the top. Right arm is long, knees are open. Okay, so the prep for 2. And down. You're trying to keep those knees wide as you lower and as you lift to the prep. And then the full one, make sure the feet do move slightly further away, lifting up, squeezing the legs together, and bending. And the knees do open as you come down. Trick is control, right? You're trying to control. You might find one side feels more controlled than the other. If you've had like one arm is weaker, you had a shoulder injury, then it's harder on that arm to stabilize. All kinds of things can throw your body off a little bit of balance. 2 more. Squeeze those legs together. 1. If you're doing your side full, you're going back into another plank position. So you're going to come up and then just bring yourself into your plank position. Perfect. All right, so press those heels to the floor. Find your really perfect plank position. Now all you're going to do is try to glide your shoulder blades together and apart. That's it, quote unquote, right? The hard part is moving those shoulder blades, just like our warm-up. So you're pressing your hands into the floor and reaching your shoulder blades away from each other and then together. 2 more. Should feel some work there. Hold your plank and then bring the heels down and rest. Awesome. And now the big ab series. Okay, single leg, double leg, and crisscross. So we're going to be doing it all on our back. If you're not comfortable with both legs up in a tabletop, one leg is up. Okay, doing all your leg work, and then you would switch halfway through. We're doing sets of 10. So full leg imprint, legs come into the tabletop, knees are hip width apart, head and shoulders are lifted, hands are reaching, towards your right knee. So one hand on either side of the knee. Exhale, reach the leg out. Gently pull that other knee in and curl yourself up higher. Switch. So your body's not twisting, constantly looking straight down the middle. You're gently using the hands to just pull that chest forward just slightly. Your abs should be working the whole time. Oh no, I lost count. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your legs together. If your head doesn't need a rest, go into your double leg stretch. So reach your arms back, the legs out, bend the knees in, bring the arms in. It can be done with the hands behind the head or the head down as well, if it's getting into the neck. Just make sure you maintain your imprint, right? 4 more. Keep those knees squeezing together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bring it down. We're going to do the crisscross with our legs down today. So feet and knees are hip distance apart, hands behind the head. All right, so on an exhale, lift, lift, rotate, and we're going to reach to the outside of the knee and down. Your legs and hips shouldn't move. Rotation comes right from your midsection. So you get that nice lift and rotate. If you're not feeling your waist, you probably just need to lift and twist just that inch more. 4 more to go. We did way more than 10 on this one, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fabulous. Whew. Okay. Straighten those legs, straighten the arms behind you, and just stretch it out a little bit. And then we're going to go into rolling like a ball. I'm kind of in a little small space, so I sometimes roll away off the mat. But try to start closer to the front of your mat so you've got a little space in case you start heading backwards. Legs are going to be together. You're going to roll yourself into just a slight imprint, so you're just off your sit bones. Legs are going to lift up. You can hold the hands here or here, okay? I'm going to hold them here, I think, today. And on an exhale, you can roll back, or on an inhale, whichever feels more natural. So I'm going to inhale on the way back and exhale on the way up. So you're going to tuck and round, start to let the eye line drop to your thighs, roll back, roll forward and balance just behind your sit bone. So tuck and roll. So you're trying to get your lower back to touch down before your middle back clunks down. There's always a lot of clunking with this exercise. And that's where the initial tuck, everything sinks into the center. And that's where you'll get your abdominal work, as well as the balance at the top. People tend not to like this exercise when they first learn it, but once you've done it a few times, you start to get the hang of it. And it's kind of fun, and it's a nice massage too. 2 more. Fantastic. All right. Bringing yourself up. I just felt like ending on my back there today. We're going to be on the back of the mat. Okay. Or at the back of the mat. Toes should be on the mat. Okay. Perfect. All right. So I want you to bring yourself down into your tabletop position. Okay. So your knees are still under the hips. Wrists are under the armpits. Toes are tucked under. Perfect. On an exhale, I want you to lift the knees up. Inhale to hold it. Exhale to come down. Nice and controlled. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to just exhale to lift, inhale to lower. So you lift, keep the upper back wide. So when you're lifting, you shouldn't be sinking your shoulder blades together. You should feel like your upper back is really wide and the shoulder blades are almost reaching apart from you. If you want to make it harder, step your hands forward. Okay, and down. Feel those abs. And down. All right, just that little change in position, right? Same goes for planks. Now, if your hands aren't forward now, I want you to bring them forward so that we can all press our hips forward so that the wrists are back underneath the armpits. Exhale, lift the knees up into your plank. Inhale, bring them down. Exhale, up. Focus on extending the legs straight. You shouldn't be lifting your bum up, okay? It's more pressing out through the back of the legs, pressing your heels to the floor. So you get that full leg extension. Okay, these are great because it works, obviously, your upper body quite a bit. 3 more, gives you a great stretch in the back of your legs. 1, 2, last time. 3, bringing your knees down, and just sit back quickly for a quick little stretch. Fantastic. Okay, we are going to go through our rollover, just like because our abs are nice and tired now. Okay, so we're going to start on your back. You're going to bring your legs in a tabletop. They're together. You ideally will start neutral, and then the knees are going to come in and you're going to imprint. Okay? So it's an inhale, knees come in, imprint. Exhale, you're going to try and roll either just the tailbone off the mat like that, just a very small pick, or your exhale, full roll back. Legs extend straight, flex the feet and open the legs up just hip width apart, and then you roll back down. Try to control using the abs, but pressing the arms into the ground. All the way down. Legs are going to come together. You're going to bend your knees into a tabletop. Inhale. Exhale. Legs extend straight. Flex and open and roll it down. So think of wide chest. Press the arms into the floor. Use your abs. Once your legs are up, they come back together. Knees bent. 3 more. My legs are shaky today. I did my first run in 2 weeks. I slacked off for a bit. This is my punishment. 2 more. It's really hot running right now. If anyone's out walking and running still, it's pretty crazy. Last one. And when you're done, hug your knees into your chest. And then just bringing the feet back down on the floor. Excuse me, legs are going to be shoulder width apart. You're going to go to neutral pelvis, and I'm going to get you to bring your arms into the T or W where your elbows are bent at shoulder height. Okay, I want you to be neutral in the pelvis. Just take a couple slow breaths in and out. And then when you inhale, just slide your arms straight so they're in like in a V. And then exhale, bring them down into that goalpost position again. It's just a nice stretch. Help stretch your upper back, chest and shoulders. Keeping your arms in your goalpost position. If it's really uncomfortable, reach your arms out into a T position. You're going to go into your pelvic curl. So drawing through the abdominals first. You're rolling the pelvis and peeling the spine all the way up off the mat. Pressing the feet into the mat. You can inhale at the top. Exhale, roll it down. So you're just reversing. Just take your time. Nice and easy, nice and slow. All the way through. And again, so you're tilting through the pelvis, you're deepening the abdominals, rolling up. When you get to the top, you're going to inhale, but also reach your arms out into a V. And then exhale, roll down with your arms in the V. Keep them in the V. Roll it up. Keep the press in the feet. You can tell if you all of a sudden press into your feet and you weren't pressing into your feet, it changes where the weight's pushing. Most people push all their weight into the neck and shoulders, but as soon as you press into your feet, I'm hoping it'll transfer away from there. And then put your arms out in a T, palms to the ceiling. Last one. Again, using your abdominals to roll through that pelvis and spine. And then just turning your palms down to the floor, arms are out in the T, legs and feet are together. And then keeping the feet down, you're just going to lower both legs to one side. Your one foot does lift off the mat, and then you exhale, come up. Inhale, lower. Just nice and controlled. Don't just let your legs drop. Just you control the movement. One more each side. then bringing your right ankle up on your left thigh, grab behind your leg and pull the legs in. This is just a really great stretch to do. Everyone loves the stretch, but none of us ever seem to do it enough, do we? And then release the legs, and then switch sides. So the ankle comes up on your other leg. And if this is all you need to get the stretch, perfect. Hold it there. But otherwise, you might need to pull the leg up. If you can't do it, just a note for next time, pop your foot on the couch or anything you can find, a wall, a ball, a person, a chair, anything. And then you're going to hug both legs into your chest or both knees into your chest. And then I want you to roll yourself up. Straighten out those legs. And then just fold forward, reaching towards the feet, ankles, legs, wherever you can hold on to. And just use that kind of anchoring down to separate the shoulder blades, almost pulling back. Trying to really get that stretch through the middle and upper back. Breathing deep into the back of your ribs. And when you're ready, slowly roll yourself back up into a sitting position. And you made it, so you're done. That was great. Lots of really great upper back mobility stuff, lots of core work. So I hope you enjoyed the class, and we'll be back on Thursday, and then the studio is back open Tuesday, July 7th, right after the bank holiday. So I hope to see you guys in there soon. It'd be nice to teach people in person, and I don't know, hopefully someone else will laugh at my jokes besides myself. But yes, thanks again, and don't forget you can see all our videos from the beginning of the lockdown on our YouTube channel, and about 95% of them are on our Facebook, so there's a huge library there for you to check out. All right, have a great day, guys. Thanks again.